own voice, led from within. So I'm on my own today again, guys, and everyone is having a holiday. So tomorrow I think I'm gonna have Grant, Nick, and Amanda. So today our topic for today is what will you do? So I'm trying to fix this. So what will you do when your partner feels like a roommate? So when we talk about your spouse, sometimes in a relationship, when we are looking for the love that we want, we make all the effort that you can ever imagine. We will do all the necessary steps that we need to do whatever it takes to actually catch the fish. We want to catch the fish. We want to find that special person, and we have all these big goals that we want to achieve. When we do find that special person, some people want to have children, some people don't want to have children, some people want to get married, some people don't want to get married, some people just want to they want to find that special person, and they're like, they write down all these goals and they have this movie in their head that what they're going to do when they find this special person. And when they do find that special person, the first year is amazing. The woman will be like, wow, I've never felt like this in my life for many, many years. No one has ever made me feel like this. The man will be like, the king will be like, guess what? She's amazing. She's the best thing that has ever happened to me. There will be so many things, so many words that will be things that will be said about each other. And even the family, they will be very, very excited meeting that special person, meeting the king, meeting the queen in the family, and everyone gets so excited. But a few years down the line, so what happens is we make an effort for the first year. We want to get married, we want to move in with our spouse, or there's so many goals we want to accomplish when we meet that person. And once we sign I do, the other person stops making effort. They no longer need to make an effort anymore because they're married. And once some people, they're like, let's move in together. Maybe they're renting a home. They make all these plans, they rent a home, or they look at their finances and they look at the home, what kind of home they want to live in, and they make those decisions. And once they make decisions, they move in with each other. And once they move in with each other, that's it. They don't have to make an effort anymore. That's what people believe, that they don't have to make an effort anymore. How can I make an effort if I have found what I've been looking for? I am settled now. I don't need to make an effort. I don't need to go for dinner date. I don't need to do this. I don't need to have sex. I don't need to kiss my spouse. I don't need to make her feel like a woman. I don't need to make him feel like a man. So those are the things that we do to sabotage that relationship, and the other person ends up feeling like, you know what, I do everything, but I feel like I am a roommate to this person. So that's what the other person can actually feel when it comes to relationship. And they're no longer feeling as a soulmate now. They feel like everything is turned into roommate. And sometimes they separate, they live in separate bedrooms and refrigerators. they're not close as they used to be. So if you're watching this video and everything that I just said relates to you, please comment, because we just want to work out those chains that are blocking you and your spouse having that loving and caring relationship, not a relationship of roommate, but a relationship of a soulmate. And then honeymoon stages, they've drifted apart, drifts apart. The honeymoon stages drifts apart. No longer see each other as couple, busy with the responsibilities. Some people, they're busy with the responsibilities of having children. Some people are busy with the responsibilities like running a business. Everybody gets busy. What do we do when we get busy with the responsibilities? You know, I have children. I don't have time anymore. I don't have time to do this. Take each other for granted. And then the other person feels, both parties feel like a roommate. So what can you do to keep your relationship healthy and strong? It's very, very important to invest some time in your relationship. It's very, 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 very important. Some people take things for granted. So if you relate to me, you're one of those people who take things for granted. Some people take things for granted. And when the relationship falls apart, they blame the other person. They were all amazing, but she wasn't good anyway. He wasn't good anyway. I've seen it with my family, like people, they enter a relationship, they make an effort, they split up, and then you ask each other what happened. You ask one of them what happened. They're like, oh, she was this. So I'm like, in my heart, yeah, right. So I'm like, you have to take responsibilities. So it is very, very important not to take each other for granted, not to take the time that you have. Imagine when you actually meet that person. Imagine the effort that you have to go through. Some people, they even go to the gym and they make sure that they're looking good to meet this person. Some people who do go to extremely, they will choose the aftershave, nice perfume, nice clothes, to go out. They'll make sure they have time. If in work it does not give them time, the manager could lose that person because they want to make an effort to see the other person to go for meals. But you can still go for meals, even if you've been together for 2 years, even if you've been together for 10 years, you can still go for meal, and you can still hang out with each other. You can still hold your spouse's hand. You can still open doors. You can still have date night. You can still watch the movie. If you don't have money, some people don't have money, can't afford it because of the children and the numbers of children. So I always feel sorry, like people who have got 6 children or 4 children. I'm like, that might be expensive. I've got 2 children. I don't even want to go there. Kids sometimes can be very, very expensive, but it's an investment for the future. But what you can do, you can have Netflix or Disney or Sky. You can get movies when they come out, and sometimes they're expensive. You can get movies when they come out, they're like £25. When they're at the cinemas, they come out before they take them down. So you can, because going to the cinema could be maybe popcorn, drinks, the money for the tickets maybe might be expensive for you, but you can buy that movie like £25 and watch it before it comes down. Watch it with your spouse, or simple, there are movies on Netflix that you can watch, or Sky movies. If you rent Sky movies, you can watch those movies. It's not expensive to actually have to spend time with your spouse. It's not expensive, but we tend to actually think that it's expensive. It's not. And children are not actually, they don't get in the way. Children, you can actually, for me with my kids, families, they look after my children. If families can't look after my children, I send them to a childminder, somebody to look after them for that certain period. It's never happened. But if worse comes to worse, they have their own childminder that will speed down. If I want to go out, if I have to go to work, emergency, if I have to go away with work because they need picking up from school, I have a childminder that will speed down to pick the kids. It's not expensive. When kids are older, that person charges the money is less. Or even if they are young, the money is not that expensive. You find a reasonable childminder to look after the kids and just go out that one night. Just go out and feel like a man. Don't feel that I have to provide for my children and spoiling the kids. If you look at the money that people spend for children, cut down on spoiling the kids. The kids are meant to be taught to be a woman, to get out there and find work. Cut down on spending money, spoiling the kids, and cut down on spending money buying clothes that are not necessary. Just give yourself time and your spouse to go out and have fun. Maybe £100 just for one night. Don't you think you deserve it? So if you relate to me and you believe that, yes, you deserve going out, spending money, you don't have to spend lots of money. You deserve it. You work very hard. If a man goes to work 5 days a week, you work 8 hours, come home. The women, your spouse, the woman goes out to work 8 hours. That salary is combined, and then you hear people saying the children are so expensive. Yes, they are expensive, but give yourself time as well. It's like my children, I've got 2 kids. If I count the money for their activities, it's the money for mortgage, for their activities. That one costs that much. That one costs that much. It's for an investment. But in that much, that is costing money. Do you think you deserve to get like £100 or £200 a month to go and be with your spouse? Just spoil them, spoil yourself. You don't have to put other people first. You don't have to say, you know what, I'm a dad now, these are now all about the kids. I hear parents saying, you know, when you have children, it's all about the kids. It's not. It's all about you. It's all about the children. If dad is not happy, mommy not happy, children are not going to be happy. So I'm sure you can try to connect with your spouse by making sure that you put you and your spouse first. Like as a man, a king goes to work, just look at the hours that you put working hard. And when you get that salary, pay the bills, but pay you first. If cut down on makeup. I used to look at the things like my daughter went like weekend. She goes, Mommy, I need to go and buy makeup for the dance. And I'm looking at my bank statement after she comes back. And I was like, she went to buy one piece of a thing. So I was like, what did you spend the money for? She goes, oh yeah, I told you I was going to buy this. So I'm thinking, I was like, that is very expensive. So next time I just need to go to the shops and buy the whole thing. So you can actually look at your spending, because people make excuses when they have kids, they get married, they don't see that they need to make an effort. Just look at your spending and connect with your spouse. Do the things that you want to do. It's like in this house, we have this deal that we make with the children. If one of them do well, so I don't make this deal anymore. I used to make it with my older daughter, but their father does make the deal because I know he's always going to lose. Whatever the deal he makes with the children is always going to lose. Like Tony Robbins says, you're never going to win the game with the kids. He makes the deal that if the kids, one of them does well end of the week, both of them, they do well at the end of the week, we go out. We get takeaway. They get to choose which takeaway we eat, and we stay as a family. We have fun. He always loses because the children, they work hard, and I always make sure that I sit down with them, do the homework for 1 hour. The older one, I don't do homework with her. With this one, the youngest one, and she will always get 100% in everything. It comes back and say, Daddy, here's the deal. So the deal must be cough up. So we need to have a takeaway, or simple grandparents look after the kids, or friends look after the kids. We spend time together, or even if the kids are here, we not friends. There's a difference between spending time with your spouse, feeling like they are your roommate, or I get a kiss anytime I want the kiss. I get a hug anytime I want the hug. I get whatever I need. He gets whatever I need anytime he needs it. Because we are not friends. We are not roommates. We are spouse partner. So that's how you try to connect with somebody by making an effort. From the beginning, you made an effort dressing up. You made an effort going to the gym. What is stopping you? Go to the gym. And also doing exercises. It helps you for your blood flowing. It helps you, the energy. You get the energy. I'm not talking about sex. Relationship is not about sex. It gives you the energy. Sex is something that comes with it. But relationship goes deep. So as long as we understand where we are going. So when you do exercises, your energy level, like if you have your diary, just take 3 days, maybe 3 days a week. I do exercises 7 days a week if I can make it 7 days a week. But 5 days a week for me, there are no negotiations. It's got to be done. 2 days I have a choice. Take it easy, or just go for a walk. But 5 days, there are no negotiations, there are no excuses. Even if I can go out at 9 p.m., run and come back, there are no negotiations. So if you do exercises, your energy, it changes, it remains the same. It doesn't matter whatever stress you go through at work with the clients. When you get home, your energy is there because your mind, your focus. And so if you think like an athletics, when you hang out with an athletic, their mind is alert, because what they do is they work on their body. They want to achieve whatever the goals, even relationship, you stay alert. For me, what keeps me going is that I have to remember that my friends are my friends. I don't want to date a man that becomes my friend. He becomes my friend as a best friend because we love each other unconditional, but he's not my roommate. So that one, there are no negotiations. It's not my roommate. I will not walk in the house. I don't walk in the house. When I get up in the morning, for me, my pajamas are to go and sleep. If I'm wearing pajamas, are to go and sleep. So when you see me, the first thing I do, I meditate, I pray, I dress up, I look good for myself, not for him. He just has to, the benefits, he sees the benefits of it. So you have to be willing to compromise to keep your spouse happy, to keep you happy. Remember what you went through, the movie that you created when you were looking for love. what kind of movie that you created. Remember the promises that you made for yourself, that I'm looking for the love of my life. Even if things don't work out, just have fun. As part of the fun, relationship is not meant to be serious. It's part of the fun. It's the family. When you have children, children are not, they're meant to bring more happiness, but it become intense with the kids, because parents, they want to book activities 7 days a week and count the money, the time, the hours, driving all the time. I don't do all that. My children, they do acting. They go acting. They are on film on Netflix. You can see my kids. One of my daughter, she's on Cruella, but I don't do all these things 7 days a week. Driving the kids, I don't have the time. So what I do is my daughter, my children, they do activities, the music activities, the teachers come to at home on Wednesdays. I don't drive, so they come at home and they teach them. And then they have one teacher, they share one teacher. He comes in, he teaches them. Then on Wednesday, my daughter first, before the music, we pass through the college. She's 7. She does go and do her maths before we come home. So she does maths for 30 minutes and then we come home. I don't drive. I don't drive children far away. The college is just next door, 2 minutes from where we live. And then Tuesday, we don't do no activities. Monday, we don't do no activities. Thursday, they do dance for 2 hours. Saturday, Sunday, my oldest one, she's at theater college. It's all day, 9:30 till they still go. It's the same dance they go on Thursday. So they have to do Thursday and Saturday. So she does all day. So that means that she goes and she's there all day. And that's why she get to do all the dances, all the drama, all the acting there in one place. And then her 7-year-old sister, she does 3 hours now. She's 7, she does 3 hours on Saturdays. So I don't do the swimming. Daddy takes the swimming. The swimming, the fathers, they teach them swimming. So I'm cool with that. But I don't do all these things where I have to drive the children, do activities. So I plan activities where I say to my children, focus on one thing. Once you focus on one thing, develop that one thing, whatever the things, or 3 things or 2 things, develop them. And if you want to be professional, be professional. If you want to achieve something out of it, I'm happy to support you. But I'm not a parent that is, I have time, I need to have time for my spouse on weekends. So I'm not a parent that will drive children running around, making sure they are doing 27 things. I don't do that because I can't do 27 things. I know when I was growing up as a child, I focused with football and music. I spend hours. At the age of 9, I got to bed at 1 a.m. because I wanted my granddad to teach me. So those were the things that I focused. Football, I spent time playing football, climbing trees, learning to be tough. While everybody else is dressing up like girls, they dress up, they're looking good to me. I am climbing trees with barefoot, enjoying training my mind. So climbing things, and if I'm not climbing things, I'm training, hanging out with boys, just listening to the boys. That's why I don't get involved in this gossip and stuff, because I trained myself from a very young age, hang out with men. Men, you don't have time to gossip. You mess up, they tell you not to say, you mess up, and that's it. So those are the things that I do. So you can find your own, like create your own system that works for you and your children. So children are not there to damage your relationship. They are there to bring joy to parents. But then we get to the other way, where we believe that children, when you have kids, you no longer have to have fun, you no longer have to do anything, but you can still have fun with the children, because those kids, they are there to bring joy. into your life, and they are there to contribute to your happiness as well. So you don't have to say, oh, now that the children are here, I'm no longer having to put me first. I have to put the kids. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can put you first, you can put the kids, because happy mommy, happy daddy, happy children. So you can set your goals in a relationship that you can, when you're together, everything can feel right. Talk about your values and your dreams. I talk about values in to my children and their fathers. I talk about the values in my beliefs. And I believe that for me, I believe that I always tell my children that I believe that for me, I have to raise you. I have to do my best to raise the kids, but at the same time, I still have my time. They are aware that I still have my time as a mother, and their father needs to still have their time. My oldest daughter, I separated, we separated with her dad long time ago. So when we did separate with her daddy, I sat my daughter down and I said, listen, you need to spend time with your dad. Make sure you spend as much time as you can with your dad. And I'm not going to make those arrangements for you. You have to make those arrangements. So she makes her own arrangements to go and spend time with her dad. And when she does it, she always makes sure she'll give me a reason, Mommy, I didn't go this week to see my dad because of this. Family is very, very important. So those are my values that my children, they are raised to know that family is very, very important. And at the same time, if her dad is busy, her dad is married now. So if her dad is busy, she's got siblings, twins, 2 brothers. So if her dad is busy with the kids, that's fine. She knows that. So her dad gets time to spend time with them and the kids. Go on a holiday, so her dad spend time with just the kids. So that's, we value family values. But at the same time, the relationship values as well. You got to value the person that you are with. So that is the deal within the family. I do not interfere with his relationship. I value his relationship. I want him to be happy. At the same time, I taught my daughter to respect her stepmother and make sure that she makes an effort to go and see her family. So she does that. So children are not here. We make it hard if we decide to make it hard, but these are not easy. I know when I'm saying it, it sounds really easy. Everyone can say, no, so that's amazing. I wish somebody can do this. You can't do it. It's all in the heart. Me, I love unconditional. I've made a choice that I'm going to love unconditional. Whether people are crazy, I'm just going to love the crazy unconditional. So that's what I do. And when you split up with someone and you enter another relationship, things become tough. So I know there are some families who are going through tough times just because the family, broken family, and then trying to build that relationship with these 2 families, it can be tough sometimes. For me, I make things easy. How I respond to people, if someone goes crazy, I put them on the line, on the straight path. By putting them on the straight path is how I respond to that situation. I will always respond with love. And if love doesn't work, I'll respond with backing off the situation because I don't have, the reason I back off is showing people that I don't have to go through what you want to put me through. So if you want to be in my life, give me some respect, give me some love. So that's what a relationship is about. We have to not to take each other for granted. We have to appreciate when a man says, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. When a woman says, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, you have to value yourself. You have to give yourself credit that I feel honored to be part of you. I feel honored that you actually want to spend time with me. And by doing that, you actually put your relationship first. You honor yourself and honor the person that has made a choice to actually wanting to spend time with you, and by expressing gratitude inside. Let your spouse know how much you appreciate them, how much you appreciate them in their life, for them to be part of you. I'm not saying go crazy. All I'm saying is understand their love language. Praise them when they do something kind in your life. Praise them and tell them how they make you feel. And also build. Sometimes the finances can destroy relationships. You find that maybe one person, two people used to work, but now you have kids, one person stays at home. Kids can be very, very costly. It's like having children. For me, having my youngest one, I used to pay lots of money. It's like 1,000 something pound just for a month for childcare. So it can be very, very expensive, but some people may choose, you know what, this is not worth it for me to pay this childminder money. I choose to stay at home. That is okay. But when you choose to stay at home, that means the finances, you have to cut down some things, can't afford to go out, but you can have movie night at home, buy popcorns from the supermarket, make some popcorn and sit down and ask someone to babysit and look after the kids, or cook some romantic food. I would prefer, instead of going out to a restaurant, when a man cooks for me, I love that food. That food is special. So for everybody that is watching, please cook for your queen. Especially when a man cooks for a woman, he goes into the kitchen, he messes the kitchen up, and he cooks the food. When he's finished, he doesn't tidy up because he's messed up everything. That is sexy. That is cool. It's okay. I'm okay with it. When a man makes an effort, at least one effort to go and cook food. I love it. So do that for your spouse, even if you don't know how to cook. Just go and cook for them. And that person is the thought that it counts. And also plan. Women, a man is an architect. A woman, she's a mentor. She plans. A woman plans ahead. That's why a woman plans. She plans the ahead, what they're gonna do based on discussing with the spouse. Honey, would you like to do this? Can we do this over the weekend? The man agrees. They both come to an agreement. So women, if you don't know your role in a relationship, you are a mentor. This one is an architect. When I'm saying is an architect, a man plans. He has a vision how he's going to raise his children. If he doesn't have children, he just does not want to have kids or get married, or he gets married, he has his woman, he has to have a vision where he's going to stay with his wife or his missus, whatever you call it. A man should have a vision. So man should have a vision. What kind of city do you see yourself and your spouse, and present that to your spouse? Your woman will make it happen. She's a mentor, and her job is to make the reality happens come to pass by supporting you and by being there for you. So if you find a woman that is bringing you down, then she's not a mentor. So if you are married to a queen is a mentor. She makes everything comes to reality. That's why a man in the Bible, he's an architect. He uses his imagination to raise his family. And a woman, she makes the reality. A woman is there to mentor her man, to make sure everything comes to reality. So that's what the relationship role is about. And she gives life. And sometimes you find a woman says, I'm not enough. But why? If you can give life, to a human being, and you tell somebody that you are not enough, and a man tells you that actually I don't feel that you are good for me, and you believe it. So see, it doesn't work together. So you shouldn't believe when someone rejects you. You shouldn't believe it. As a woman, you give life. That's what a woman does. She gives life. That is a role in that relationship. Sometimes women decide they don't want to have children. It's a choice. So they are allowed to say, no, I don't want to have kids. But we are invented to give life. So that's what our roles as a man, the roles goes on. So if anyone has not watched me talking about the roles of a man and a woman, there are loads of videos I've made talking about what a man's role is, what a woman's role is, and then be honest with each other, the habits and expectations. What do you expect from your lover? Hey, Mohammed, how are you doing? What do you expect from your lover? Be honest. So you have to be honest with your expectations. What do you expect in a relationship? And sometimes when those expectations, when we don't communicate our expectations, that's when a relationship falls apart. Communicate your expectations. Make sure the other person knows what you expect from them. And if you are somebody who wants to have kids, be prepared for parenthood. That's why I'm saying major decision has to be made if you're going to have kids. And also, don't do what people do in the society. People do things based on what everybody is doing. Know that when you are raising your kids, you raise your kids based on what you believe to be true. To have kids, not some people, they say it's like we have to do it in our culture, we have to do this. I was raised by culture, but I was not raised by specific like this culture. I was raised to be the woman that I am today by my parents. There's culture involved, but when it comes to raising me, I was raised to to design my own life. I was a child where I would just, my parents are very talented. I look at my parents. Who is this one? My grandfather is a musician. I was like, granddad, teach me music. And teaches me music. And then the boys teach me to play football. And everybody else, they're busy doing their own things, the girl stuff. I wasn't doing girl stuff. So you have to look at your children, like my children, none of them, my kids play football. My children, they do their own stuff, but they do acting, but it's not that that's what they want to do professional. My daughter wanted to be to do acting professional, but I never push to say, oh yeah, you go for it. I'm a parent that says I support you, but if you still believe that acting is what you want, I will support you. But then she started getting jobs now. When she was, how old was she? 10 or 9? I can't remember. Acting jobs, it requires you to arrive on the scene at 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. And 6 a.m. you are there until 6 p.m. You take a break. Children, they are allowed to take a break, so they can take 4 hours break, but they're still on the scene. So she was like, I don't think so. I don't think this is the job that I want. So some people may choose and say, this is the job that I want, but they've never done it. So she was like, she was annoying me, basically, like, mommy, book me for auditions. But once I found the agents for her, an agent to book her for jobs, she changed her mind. And I was like, hallelujah, go study hard. So she changed her mind because the acting is not easy. Everyone, my daughter, she's 7 years old. She was on the scene last week. We arrived on the scene at 9:30, and we left there around 6 p.m. She's 7 years old. So they go to the field to shoot, and then they come back. It's long hours, and she's 7 years old. So she would decide as well whether does she want to do it professional, or does she want to just to do it for fun. So you just have to prioritize. So the reason I'm sharing this is you have to create your goals based on who you are as a person. Like we create our goals as a family. We don't do what other families do. Even my children, they know that if they have to change things around that suits them, that for their future, they know that friends, I don't consider friends when it comes to making tough decisions, or if they have to go to a good school. I know friends, if they're meant to be there, they'll see them after school. So they know that when we do things, we don't do things just because the other couples are doing it, or my spouse, or when we go on holiday, we do something, we don't do it. Or unless if somebody says there's a deal there, go ahead and look at it. We can look and book that deal, that is fine. But you have to live your life, not based on what everybody in the community is doing, or not what Instagram people are doing on Instagram, because you don't know the life that they are living. So create your life that led to inspire each other and support each other, giving each other some tips and giving each other, prioritizing your relationship and keeping that connection. And your mind, you have to stay connected. Let go of little things, of little mistakes that your spouse might make, or just hold on to what you love about that person. What connected you with that person? What connected me with my spouse is I'm not fake. I can tell you everything that I do online when I'm offline. That's what I do. I'm not fake. So if I feel like I want to walk with barefoot, I will do it, but I won't do it because the United Kingdom is really cold. So I don't fake things. Like my friends, they have to accept me for who I am. So I don't fake things. My spouse, he knows. So you don't have to fake it to be with somebody, or you don't have to show off pictures on Instagram, or just to go out simple to dress up and put pictures on Instagram. Your relationship has to be real. If you want to spend time at home with your spouse, having fun, watching something on TV, it is your choice. That is a connection. A connection, it means you tell me your life story. Like with my spouse, I'm a very curious person. Tell me your life story. What did you do when you were a child? So he will tell me that story. I'll relate with that story. I'll sympathize if it's something that is funny, something that is sad. I'll sympathize with him, and there's connection formed. Connection, I feel connected with him, or I tell him my story. Do I have funny stories? I tell him my stories. And just that's what relationship is about. So what connected you with your spouse in the first place? And also, if they are growing in that relationship, embrace it. Don't say, you know what, you are annoying because you're changing, because there's no, embrace that change with your spouse. Embrace it. And also, if you are growing, or some people, they are coaches, as a coach, and your spouse is not a coach, remember, there has to be a balance. What do you see? You see them making mistakes. Don't let them know that they are making a mistake. Teach them what you know. I teach my spouse, like he worries, like sometimes I don't know who told people that men should be looking after everybody else. So when things like during the pandemic, we'll start worrying if he's going to be able to support us, and all this list goes on. And I was like, you know what? I am tired of this. So I had to put him straight that, listen, honey, we can survive with, as long as we have money to pay for a home, as long as we have money to pay for food, as long as we have money to pay for the children to go to school or to do this, we can survive. So just chill, take the pill, chill pill, and just chill out. So I had to tell him to chill out, and he's like, but how do I chill out? And I was like, by being grateful for what you have, that little that you have. If the problems has not happened, we don't worry about them. So we don't worry about them. So when they do happen, we worry about it. We don't even worry about them. We find a solution. So when he did that, he started worrying. Guess what I did? Because I was getting tired of it. So when he started worrying, here's me looking at the home now. I'm like, okay, we are living in this big home. We don't use some part of the house. Might as well downsize if it makes you feel better. So we had to downsize. So my idea was downsize. If you are worried about how are we gonna afford to pay all this, pandemic is affecting everything. So I was like, okay, we have a home that is too big and we don't need it. So we need a normal house, like normal people. So that's what happens. You don't need to worry about things when things are not going well. You don't need to worry. You found a solution. Solution might not as simple as you think, but as long you get there. Just find a solution to sort things out. Or if you are somebody, nothing stays the same. So when I mention my clients say, no, sir, I need a millionaire. Find me a millionaire. So I'm like, that's not a problem. So what do you bring to the table to that millionaire? And then do you understand that millionaire is not going to stay as a millionaire? When he loses his money, what mindset do you have? You have to have a mindset of a mentor. So those are the questions that I ask my clients. You want a millionaire, what do you bring to the table? They don't necessarily have to be a millionaire. So they have to tell me, what do they bring to the table for them wanting me to match them with that millionaire? So then that's when a woman who has brain, who is beautiful and has brain, they'll tell me, Mamsa, this is what I bring to the table. And this is why I feel I deserve to get married to a millionaire. So I'm like, cool, I'll connect you with that millionaire. Once I connect you, what happens when he loses his money? She's like, I'm cool. The relationship goes on. Nothing changes. Nothing stays forever. So that is a woman. When a woman says, I love a man for who he is, or a man says, I love a woman for who they are, that is a woman with brain, and that's a man with brain. So is mindset wise, if your mindset is growing, or you see that your woman, they are doing whatever they can, whatever is necessary to grow mindset wise, and to grow and changing, like businesses, growing their businesses, study. There's some women who love to study. Just let them go for it. Don't feel threatened. A woman loves a man who is an architect. While the woman is busy creating the business, men have a vision. You shouldn't discourage her. Have a vision. How can I use this knowledge that she has to grow both of us, to grow in our lives, maybe to upgrade? How can I help her instead of feeling threatened by women who likes to, or a woman who sees a man now they're like growing and you feel threatened that that's not the man that I met. Yes, people are changing, people, they grow. Let him grow, mentor him. You see, it's a woman's job to mentor this man. So when you're mentoring him, it means when he comes to me, he tells me that, Nomsa, I have this vision. So I'm like, I'm listening, honey. So what part do you want me to play? How can I play the part? It's a movie. They have a vision. They're telling me about this vision. I'm getting excited because I want to be closer to this person and I want to help this vision come to reality. So what part do you want me to play? Not to discourage. Don't discourage your king. Don't discourage your queen. If they feel that they want to grow in that relationship, that will bring you all closer to each other. Just encourage them to become who they want to become. We make mistakes by thinking that we can control the situation and we can control people, but we can't control. For me, as a person, I don't think I can date any man that will want to control me, even 1 second, because I don't think I can survive. I am a curious person. My parents, both of them, they are, my dad was an amazing man who had this vision, who taught me to be the person that I am today. And my mother, when she split up with my dad, she made a choice. My mom made a choice and said, okay, you want to split up with me, you want a divorce. I am giving you divorce in one condition. You look after the kids. That was my mother's condition. You look after the kids. And my dad was like, yes, that's fine. And my mom was like, you look after the kids, I go back to university. So my mom went back to school. My grandmother looked after us. And that was the plan that my mom said, when I left to home, I got married to you and I left to home without kids. So I am not going home and you just pay child support. I stay at home looking after the kids and become a housewife. You're going to look after your children. You want a divorce? You're going to look after your children. Your mom, she's going to look after them with you. And the children will come to me and visit, that's fine. And I'm glad she made that choice of my father taking responsibilities of looking after us, because if I had gone and lived with my mom, maybe my future would have been different. But I was glad that my dad took those responsibilities. So my mom went, if you want a divorce, I give you a divorce. You look after the kids. I go back to school. Because my dad had finished university. So my daddy had finished university and met my mom pregnant with my older sister. My mom and my dad had 3 kids. So my mom was like, okay, so I didn't finish school because of you making me pregnant. That's fine. You want a divorce? I give you a divorce. You take your kids. I go back to school. In that way, I don't have to worry about my parents looking after the children. I don't have to worry when I'm studying who is with the kids. In that way, your mom will be there. If you need me with the kids, I'll be here. My mom will be there. My parents will be there as well. They will help with the kids. So that was the agreement. My dad looked after us, and my mom finished school and she got married, and we all going to my mom and my dad. So that was the agreement. So you can have those agreements for women. If these men think they can just come in and pregnant you, and then when they pregnant you, they feel that you're not attractive anymore, give them some responsibilities. So it doesn't mean that a woman has to be the one that carry children's responsibilities. My father took responsibilities. We stayed with my grandmother. And my grandmother would give my dad a list each and every week what we needed as children. So even us will give my dad the list to make sure that we had everything that we needed. That was the agreement with my parents. That agreement worked, but for some families, it might not work. So it worked because my mom was like, I am not doing this. I'm not going to just be a woman that I give you birth to your children and then you just say, okay, now you just want free time. You can have your free time, but look after your children and go to school. So she went back to school. and she's a fashion designer. She's smart. That's where I learned to dress from my mom. She goes to something or whatever, she would design anything, and that is smart. But she would have easily said, okay, I'm going to stay at home and I'm going to be a mom, because that's the end of my life. But she didn't believe that. She's a woman who believed in herself. So I'm sharing this with you because there might be some women who are going through tough times, who are living with their spouse, like they feel that their spouse is a roommate, and when sometimes we try to sort out problems and these are not, we try to pursue passion, we try to do things together. Somebody has made up their mind. You can try to sign up classes or try to rebuild that relationship. Some people don't want to know, but they still hope. You can still find hope in that situation where you can find your own life and create your own life. So how do we build that relationship? How do we pursue the passion again, find the love again? You can do that by doing things together. Find hobbies you both enjoy. I like playing tennis. Like there are so many things that you can do, or you can sign up to some cooking classes. You can sign up to anything. You can take a vacation with your spouse, and like daily routine, you can share your daily routine with your spouse, and you can just laugh. Find that laugh. Go in front of the mirror. We have a laughing yoga every Friday where we just laugh. So that means whenever I have a problem, instead of feeling sad, I just feel that happiness within me. So you can do all these things and take good care of yourselves as an individual. Hang out with friends that you share interest with, and also consider counseling. If you feel that we need more help in this relationship that is not working, it is okay. Find a professional therapist that could help you to change your habit, to retweak your habits, and also if problems have gone really deep, normally it's easy for other people to agree to go for counseling, but never force anyone to go for counseling. If they don't want to go for counseling, don't force them. And also find a strategy that can save your relationship. Everyone is different. So what worked for your friends or what worked for somebody you know is not going to work for you. So find a strategy that is going to work for you, and never suggest to separate rooms. Some people, they have this thing where they suggest we need to separate rooms, we need to do this. So if things are not working, try to make it work. Try to fix things by doing the right thing. Stay away from arguments. And you can argue, but stay away. And also forgiveness. Try to forgive. Think about the things that made you fall in love with each other. Eye contact as well, and talk about the future together. What future do you guys have? And find out why can't you see each other eye to eye. What brought this hatred in your relationship? Sometimes unforgiveness can bring hatred in a relationship. If you don't see eye to eye, try to find out why. There must be underlying unforgiveness, that maybe your spouse have hurt you and you let that hurt inside. So try to work on forgiveness as well, and try to heal. And when you don't see eye to eye, avoid the blame. Blaming yourself is not going to solve anything. Blaming your spouse is not going to solve anything. Focus on the healing. When you focus on the healing, everything else happens natural. It doesn't matter the outcome. The outcome might be maybe you have to go separate ways, but focus on the healing, whatever the outcome might be. Focus on the healing and focus on you. When you do focus on the healing, it takes away the frustration. It can bring laughter to your relationship when you support each other, and always try new things in your life, and always know who you are as a person in that relationship. It does help out. When you know who you are as a person. For me, what keeps me going is knowing who I am as a person. I don't fight. When I'm saying I don't fight, people might find it really, really weird. I don't fight. I get scared, really, really scared when somebody is fighting me. The only thing that I do when somebody wants to fight me, I want to know what I've done wrong so I can correct it. Or maybe I can ask for forgiveness for them to forgive me. So when I've done something wrong to my spouse, instead of him fighting, I look at him in the eye. When he's really, really angry, I look at him in the eye and I want him to calm down. I want him to explain, what did I do wrong? So I can apologize. And once you apologize to that person and forgive yourself, that will be okay. And also you can make each other laugh and support each other as well. That is very, very important when you support each other. And try, what else can you do? Take responsibilities as well. When you take responsibilities in your relationship, both parties have to take responsibilities. It's not one-sided. Put your defense down. Blaming the defense, trying to defend yourself, take responsibilities for the role you played in that argument. And what else? Change doesn't happen overnight. Some people expect change to happen, and what time frame can you and your beloved agree upon the changes that you desire? And then one day, sit down with your spouse and discuss about what you can do to commit to work on your relationship. And if you both feel like you want to save that relationship, commit to it and work to prioritize it and rebuild your love. It's very, very important to rebuild your relationship, and also show up as the person that wants to be in that relationship. Check in with yourself and your spouse regularly, and also check in with what can you give more to that relationship, and find out what you need to support each other in that relationship. And if things are not working, that's when you need a therapist. You need to find a therapist. Even if you are a coach, there are some people that says, I'm a coach, I don't need a therapist. You do need a coach to repair your relationship and to take responsibilities and know that things don't happen overnight. And the coach is there for you, a therapist is there to see things that you don't see, because sometimes there are things that we might do that we don't see. And also create goals in that relationship to achieve them. And everyone has goals that they would like to achieve. So respect your spouse's goals, respect each other's goals, focus on goals, and give purpose. The goals will give you purpose and enjoyment in your relationship. And remember, the goals don't have to be all about money or work. Goals, fun goals as well. So So don't ever look your relationship. And so nurture your relationship. For you to be in an amazing relationship, you have to know yourself. You have to understand your spouse. You have to, once you understand your spouse, once you relate to them, you understand their world. Tony Robbins talks about the world. I talk about the spirit of love. Once you listen to somebody and you relate to them, you sympathize with them, and then you sympathize with them, you connect to the spirit of love. Once you connect to the spirit of love with that person, that means I get to know your world, what the world that Tony Robbins is saying. It means when you cry, I can feel that cry. I can relate to you. I can comfort you. I can let you be mentally and physically. I can be there. We can talk about things that we want to achieve in our relationship. If it's finances, be open to discuss about it. And I know that everything is going to just work out fine, but things work out fine only if they are being fixed. So know that you can fix whatever is broken and take action and just have that gratitude of being with each other. I think that is very, very important when a man and a woman, they are open to each other and serving each other, knowing that life is a game. It's a game that we create. It's not a game that you have to look at your friends on social media and then decide to live that life. No, life is a game. You put the puzzles together. You get to know your spouse. You get to know your spouse by them communicating their needs to you. And once they communicate their needs to you, you relate to them, you sympathize with them, and you connect to that person. Once you connect to that person, you get to enjoy their world, what makes them happy, what makes them cry. And when they come and tell you about their worries, you're there to listen. That is your job as a king, to save. You're saving your queen. When a king you save, that means the queen is there to save you as well. And that means you are there to receiving the love that you deserve from your queen. So that's what relationship is about. It's not complicated. It's not complicated, but we make it so complicated. Do exercises as well, like I suggested. The exercises, they help a lot. When you do exercises, physical exercises, your mind is alert. If you can't go running, you can't go to the gym, you can play the music, do some dance work. Communicate with your body, communicate with your mind. Let your mind take you to the places where you've never been. Let your heart connect to your body, the places where you've never been. Let you be. If you can't go, so you can't make excuses. If you're somebody who can't run, if you are somebody who can't go to the gym, if you are somebody who can't go swimming, you can't go do outdoors exercises, do indoors exercises by dancing at home, 10 minutes, 20 minutes a day. Connect yourself. When you connect with your inner being, it means you live in the present moment, not in the future. You live in the present moment. Even when you plan the future, you're still living in the present moment. So do all these things, find these things that works for you, and then just do them. So Ghost Talk Shows, we are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And if you want to find your own voice, if you want to find that music, Non-Such is a love harmonist. I'm a love harmonist. So if you want to find that voice within you, you want to connect with your spouse, but you don't know how, that means you have chains that you need to break. So when a relationship is not working, we tend to look at the other person and it will be like, she is the cause of this or he is the cause of this. But you have to work on yourself and then decide to judge. So if you are in a relationship where you feel like, okay, you know what, this is a dead end, and this is not what I signed for, and you want to break the chains and find that self-love and connect with yourself and find your voice, your own voice, and lead from within, connect with me. You can connect with go to the website www.hseia.com, send me an email, or if you want to connect with the other coaches as well, if you connect with me, so we'll together, you and I will decide what kind of help you need, or maybe you already know what kind of help you need. So we'll look at the coaches within Gossip Talk Shows, or you might have to work with me so you can get in touch. But with me, when you come and you want to work with me, I don't play games. I don't make promises that, you know what, I'm going to fix you. You fix you. You do the work. You do the work. Because when you say you're going to do the work, you have to make that promise. When you go to a coach, if a coach says, I will help you, I will fix you, then I think that is wrong. Me, I don't fix no one. I trigger. That music that is within, that is anything that is holding, we bring it out and we cast it out. We cast everything out. We cast the chains of being a follower. We cast the chains of I'm not enough. We cast out the chains. We break the chains of rejection, the chains, so many chains that we create, attachment that we create. So God bless. And YouTube subscribers, family, please, when you're watching the talk show on YouTube, and please subscribe to our channel. And if you're watching it on Gossip Talk Show's page, subscribe to Gossip Talk Show's channel, and also give us some gold star. Give us some gold star, please. God bless. Live with grace.